Hi class, I just wanted to make a video that might be helpful to you as someone who is either brand new to an online class, or maybe this is the first speech class you have taken, or maybe both. And so what we're going to do is talk about some common mistakes that I have found my online students making over and over and over again for the past couple of semesters as I've taught online classes. So let me just kind of start by some things not to do. First thing that gets people in trouble with these types of classes is not getting the textbook. You are in a little bit different situation, but we usually have several tests a semester. You just have one final exam since it's a shorter class, but the textbook is imperative in order to successfully pass the exams in the class. The second thing that students often make a mistake on is they don't check in to Canvas. They don't check into our class often enough. For our class, we've already discussed in the welcome video that you need to check in daily and maybe sometimes twice a day because it moves very quickly. Also, not keeping track of due dates and assignments, and just generally not being familiar with Canvas. If you are not familiar with Canvas, let me assure you it's really easy to navigate, but you may want to take 30 minutes. Don't put any stress on yourself, don't try to find anything in particular, and just go through some modules, play around with it, see how things work, and just try to figure it out on your own. It's actually pretty user-friendly. We'll be posting assignments to discussion boards, or you'll be submitting them, and each assignment page within a module will be instructive in how to do that. Also, the team discussions are a challenge. The team projects are a challenge since we're an online class. You don't get to meet with your team members face to face, and the coordination of the team projects is very difficult when it's fully online. And so having everyone on board and everyone participating is vitally important. You must do this. If you're not going to do this, please drop the class. I don't mean to sound mad or mean. Just don't do that. It's too much trouble for those who are left with your part to do. And so come committed to the class. Let's get things done and participate in the team discussions early and often. Early and often is our motto. All right. The other thing that students make a mistake with in this class is when it comes time to give their speeches, individual speeches, you have to gather an audience. We're trying to emulate as close as we can a classroom speech environment, a professional speech environment really. And many of you will use your family as your audience. That's perfectly fine. You have to have at least 4 adults in your audience. Your little cousins don't count, the little babies. No, 4 people older than 18 or older need to be in your audience. I need to see them. You need to have a camera person in your audience that scans the audience with the camera and then focuses for the rest of the speech on you. But I need no interruptions, no pausing, stopping the camera and then starting it back up in one take. Scan the audience and then put the camera on you, let the camera stay on you the entire time you're speaking, and then stop the videoing after you stop speaking. So, you have to gather your own audience. Some people don't have access to family. Maybe you're living on TJC campus and you just got a few friends and you kind of freak out because I might have to ask some strangers to to watch my speech. It's okay. Get some people together in a quiet place where your speech is the only thing going on, and just say, please watch me for about 5 minutes. I'm sure you'll be able to get at least 4 people to do that. So don't wait till the last minute to gather an audience. Plan that ahead and make sure you have plenty of people. If you don't have an audience, you're not giving a public speech. Therefore, I cannot give you credit for a public speech. We do not count something like I'm doing right now, one-on-one to the camera. That is not a public speech. And so if you don't have an audience, you don't have a grade for your speech. It's very important to gather an audience, make sure you have the required number there available. Also, since we oftentimes do these presentations, maybe in our homes or with people we're very familiar with, I've noticed that some students tend to be very casual. No, we need to be professional. And so make sure that when you are giving your speeches, you first of all have prepared, like you will be learning this semester how to prepare a speech. Make sure you have practiced your speech out loud several times so you are familiar with the information. And make sure that you are not too casual when you present your speech. This means no sitting down. Please don't give your speech barefoot. My goodness, people. And let's stand up. Let's kind of dress appropriately, no pajamas. Let's try to emulate a professional speech setting as best we can. You don't have to have a podium. Don't worry about that. But find find some sense of professionalism when it comes to giving these speeches, because this is what we need to do. This is the requirements of this class. So I know I kind of got on a soapbox there, but it kind of bugs me when people are lounging around in their pajamas and reading a script of paper to their family and expect that to be counted as a good speech. It's just not. Speaking of reading to your audience, we will be learning a style of speaking called extemporaneous speaking. And that's a fancy term for prepared speaking, but not memorized and not manuscript. And so what you're going to do is you're going to prepare an outline of what you're going to say. You're going to transfer that outline into abbreviated speaker notes. We're going to talk about that more later. And you're going to deliver the speech off of speaker notes after you've practiced it several times. And so instead of reading your sheet of paper and never looking at the audience, blah, 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 that's not effective. You're going to do bullet-pointed types of speaker notes where you can glance down if you need to and then come back and look at your audience and speak to them. So we're not going to be reading to our audience. That's a very common mistake that students make. All right, other small things that you want to keep into consideration when you are uploading your video to YouTube. You want to make sure that it is set to public instead of private. Don't worry, you're not going to probably name it anything different unless it's your name and then the name of the assignment. So it might be Amanda Ratcliffe Informative Speech, something like that. But no one's going to search out your video. It's not going to go viral probably. And so just set it to public. After it's graded, you can take it down from YouTube in case you don't want it out there for eternity. But just make sure that you set it to public so I can see it and your classmates can see it. Also, just a small detail, but it helps so much. When you are shooting video, when someone's shooting video of you, please don't stand in front of a window or a door, an open door, or a light source, because the lighting kind of shadows your face. We want to see your face. We want to see the front of your body and as you're speaking to your audience. And so you can kind of see, let me do a little moving here. You can kind of see if I move around and then I'm standing in front. See how it's just not a good picture? I mean, I'm close to the camera so you can still see my face, but it's just not a good picture if I'm standing in front of a light source. So please don't do that. All right, let's see. Check my notes, make sure everything I'm supposed to talk about, I talked about, and I think so. All right. If you have any questions, I'm sure there's going to be some other tips that I come up with, and I'll try to do a few more videos that kind of help you go through the speech process as well. But if you have any questions, you just let me know. I'm easy to get in touch with, and I'm so happy you're in the class. It's going to be a fun, exciting semester. It's going to pass fast, but we're going to make it. So have a great day, and thank you so much.